Hey people, N2 of the plant here. For today, we are going to focus on the Nuns sisters. So we are going with the modded version of the church. This time there are going to be many crowd characters, and I'm going to give each one a voice. So you are going to hear all kinds of people I managed to cook up. Anyway, Sura, hop to it, those nuns ain't gonna feed themselves. Well, you know what, maybe they just will.
Did my plant just speak to me? It must be the word of the goddess. Oh yeah, she gave me the power to make people fat. She is a degenerate just like me.
Welcome, I'm Sister Astari, a nun in service to the goddess of light. May the blessings of our goddess aid you in your endeavors.
Looking at her, it seems she has a fairly lithe body with a thin stomach. The only somewhat remarkable thing about her is her dress, which seems fairly lewd for a nun.
Well now, if you're going to stare, then you might as well donate some.
Astari, what are you saying? It's indecent, we shouldn't do this in the first place. This was a terrible idea.
But it should work, and we need the money, and I don't see what the problem is.
Welcome, I'm Sister Mara, a fellow sister serving the goddess of light. I pray you'll fare well in any of your tasks.
This nun can only be described as thin. Her stomach is flat, her butt is flat, overall very small. Though her dress is a curiosity as it shows quite the amount of cleavage. Too bad there's not much to see.
Please don't stare too much. We could use donations, so, excuse my indecent dress.
Sister Mara is quite pure, while Sister Astari is more down to earth. This church is truly blessed to have them here. If only we had enough money.
May the goddess grant me happiness.
Welcome, I'm Sister Mara, a fellow sister serving the goddess of light. I pray you'll fare well in any of your tasks. What to do? Moo. Oh, apologies, I did not wish to trouble you, it's just... Our church has not been doing very well recently.
That's an understatement. We're lacking in money most of all. Unless the number of donations increases, we're out of luck. May the goddess bless us in these hard times.
Yes, it is as Sister Astara says. Ever since the demon lord was defeated, the number of people coming here to pray has gone down. This also means less donations. We really are at our wits' end to even try such weird action as dressing like this.
Oh, come on, this type of dress isn't bad at all. But she's right, you know, it doesn't seem to work what to do. How would that help?
Don't just calmly respond like that. That's not, first of all, what do you mean gain weight? Would the goddess even permit something like that?
I mean, probably, it's not explicitly forbidden, but we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Again, how would that help? Why would people donate if we got fat?
Well, to get donations, you need people, which you don't have. And for people to come here, they need a reason. Most people feel safe now that the demon lord has been defeated, so they don't come here to pray. But what if they had another reason to come here? For example, 2 fat nuns that need donations to keep eating.
Would they really come? But this is a place of worship. We can't just demand money for something not related to its upkeep.
Well, us eating food is technically upkeep, right? There's no problem there.
But...
That being said, we'd essentially be repurposing this church for something unrelated to our goddess. That is not something we are allowed to do at all.
And that's the thing, you're not. This will still remain a place dedicated to the goddess of light. You're just providing something extra in these peaceful times. After all, if you do this, you'll be able to keep this place running, which means it'll still be here should another catastrophe happen. Much better than if everything falls to ruin, and the people who need it lose their place to pray, right?
I suppose that is true. If we do it to assure that in the future people will still be able to receive our goddess's guidance then, maybe.
I suppose. Well, let's just try it then. We're seriously out of options as it is. Maybe it'll work, who knows?
Oh, it'll definitely work, that I can promise you.
Let's hope you're right.
Great, there's just one teeny tiny problem, namely food. We're out of money, so how will we get enough food to put on some weight?
Leave that to me. I should get them 20 fairy bread to start with.
Oh, hello, so are we really doing this? I'm still a bit uncertain. Did you bring the food? This really is quite a lot. and we are supposed to eat all of it.
Mara, don't be like that, it's free food. Anyway, thanks so much for this, let's just eat.
And so both nuns started eating the fairy bread, one with hesitance, the other with indifference. It was quite a lot for two people though, but neither complained until they had stuffed it all into their tummies, both round and full of bread, visibly bulging underneath their dresses.
Ooh, I'm so full, and we have to do this several times. Oh dear.
Ugh, yeah, this is going to be quite the challenge. At least it was tasty, don't you agree?
Yes, it was indeed. Ooh, I feel really stuffed, doing this all the time. Maybe it's not so bad.
Oh yeah, this feels really good. I could go for some more, honestly.
Well, it's a start. May the goddess bless them on their endeavor.
Their figures have gotten fuller.
Ah, welcome. It is nice to see you again. I really hope this is going to work.
It's not really a lot, but she has gained a bit of weight. It seems to be mostly concentrated in her chest. Did her tummy grow softer as well? It's hard to tell with the dress on.
Oh, you're staring again. I know it's not a lot, but it's a start, right?
Hi, I hope you brought us something nice.
Her dress did get somewhat tighter, though it's not that easy to tell. I think she gained the most on her butt, and maybe a bit on her belly. Well, it's a start, isn't it?
I got a pit plush, right? Do enjoy the show.
Ah, welcome. It is nice to see you again. I really hope this is going to work. I still feel bad for requesting your help last time, but the situation hasn't improved much yet, and I am a bit hungry.
We do know this whole thing is a long shot, so this isn't unexpected, but we still have no food. Can we ask you to bring us something again?
Sure thing, I know exactly what to get you to. Let's go with 30 apple pies this time, they'll love them.
Ah, welcome. It is nice to see you again. I really hope this is going to work. Did you bring the food?
Let's go with 30 apple pies this time, they'll love them.
Oh my, that is really quite a lot. Even more than last time, all for us to eat.
Sounds like you're getting into the spirit of things. Well, I guess I can sort of see the logic here. Eat more now so we can eat even more later, right?
And so we'll gain weight faster. I really hope this is going to be worth it, because I don't think I want to stop.
Having placed the pies on the table behind them, both nuns began eating, each taking a slice of pie and cramming it into their mouths before taking another. They were eating fast to stave off the feeling of fullness as much as possible, sometimes barely even chewing. And yet, they still consumed the pastries in a graceful fashion, leaving neither crumbs nor filling behind. I wonder how long they can keep this up. Taking so much care, while eating usually doesn't mix well with eating fast. After a while, they both started to slow down somewhat. Their stomachs were already quite stuffed, having been filled with delicious, fairy-baked pie, but there were still a few pies remaining.
Ugh, I am so full. I don't think I can finish these. Ooh.
Foo, it is quite a lot, but we have to eat all of this. I can't eat anymore either though.
Ooh, my tummy. Boo-orf. Oh, excuse me. I feel less full now though.
Huh, well that's something. At least it worked for you.
I have an idea to help you. Stay still.
In a surprising turn of events, the meeker of the two nuns went up to her fellow sister, pulled her dress up, and begun massaging her stuffed belly.
What are you? Ooh, this feels really good. Red heart, please don't stop.
Ah, if you talk like that, please don't. It's embarrassing. I just thought this would help.
Well, it does. Hey, it did help. I've got a bit more room now.
Glad I was able to help. You burped right into my face. That should be disgusting. So why does it feel so nice? Let's not think about this. Ooh, weird thoughts go away. Maybe eating would distract me.
Starting again, are you? Well, let's finish these pies then.
Thus, after a quite interesting interlude that attracted the attention of all people present, the nuns finished their meal, though much slower than at the beginning. Both of their stomachs were now quite stuffed, so full as to constrain their breathing. They leaned heavily on the table, panting after such a large meal.
Ugh, that really was a lot. Ooh.
Yes, haya, that it was. Boo-urf, sorry. I really want to rub her tummy again. Ha, I feel so full. Ha, I want to do this again. I really want to.
This is so nice having my belly massaged like that. Yeah, I could get used to this.
I heard the sisters here got hot, but damn, they really are.
They have gotten quite plump now, haven't they? Moo, this does warm my old heart.
Well, they've certainly put on some weight, all right. It doesn't look bad on them, not bad at all.
This dress is getting somewhat tight. That's a good thing, right?
Oh yeah, it's definitely good. The tighter the dress, the better the donations.
Well then, let's make it tighter. I want to see you burst out of them. Even though it's indecent, I still. Oh no, please bring the food fast. I need a distraction.
Looking at her now, it's quite amazing how tight her dress already is. I can't wait to see how it'll look when she's stuffed. Regardless, she's put on a decent amount of weight, giving her a chubby figure. Her belly has certainly grown, a fair muffin top that fills her clothes out nicely. Any growth in the lower body seems unnoticeable though, which is a shame. But by far, her greatest asset is her bosom. These big, juicy melons, oh no, I dropped my script, where is it, damn? Oh okay, where was I, right? Squishing them together and accentuating their fat. The way they jiggle with every breath she takes.
Is my figure good? You're staring is a bit. I kind of like it. The eyes on me. This is nice.
I can feel my butt pressing hard against my dress. It's not gonna survive much longer. Ooh, I can't wait.
You can't just destroy your dress like that.
Sure I can.
It is as she said. Her bouncy bubble butt is rubbing against the poor fabric, already stretching it somewhat. It won't be long at all before her ass and her already quite meaty thighs simply burst her dress apart. And her supple belly is certainly helping in that regard. The soft bowl of fat already pushing against the front of her attire. Only her chest has not gotten any bigger.
Enjoying my curves, they're quite nice, aren't they?
This dress is getting somewhat tight. That's a good thing, right? It does seem to be working, I think. We've been getting some donations lately.
Yeah, but it's really not enough, and we still can't afford food. At this point you already know what we're going to ask, don't you?
Yup, I'll get you some good food. Crepes, it's gonna be crepes. About 30 again.
This dress is getting somewhat tight. That's a good thing, right? Did you bring the food?
Crepes, it's gonna be crepes. About 30 again.
That looks really good.
It does indeed. Well then, let's stuff our faces.
Yes, oh please, let me rub your tummy again. I really want to. But first, food.
Even before all the dishes were on the table, both nuns were already reaching for them, grabbing a crepe each before cramming them into their mouths. Barely chewing, they soon grabbed the next while swallowing, intent on eating as much as possible while their appetite was at its highest. More and more delicious pastries disappeared from the pile, vanishing into their expanding stomachs. And they were growing, visibly, straining their clothes more and more, squishing the fat rolls of their bellies against the fabric. At the rate both were devouring the treats, it wouldn't be long before they'd have to free their bellies from their constraints, else this stuffing session might end before it should. Already, they were slowing down, their dresses compressing their bellies and thus limiting the amount of food they could cram into their hungry stomachs, a problem they recognized, and thus both gluttonous nuns were presented with a choice. Either push through and try to rip the fabric with their expanding guts or remove the obstacle.
Oh dear, this is a problem. Haya, it seems, we'll have to lift our dresses or we'll damage them.
Ugh, can't we just let them rip? They're getting a bit small anyway.
What? No, don't do that. What if you hurt yourself?
I'm not gonna hurt myself, silly. I really don't want to have to lift this thing though.
Fine, then I'll do it.
Before Astari had any chance to react, Mara was upon her, bending down while huffing and puffing, her belly getting squished even more as she grabbed the edge of Astari's dress with her pudgy fingers.
Ooh, my belly is getting squished. Boo-woo-woo-woof. Ah, sorry.
After releasing some of the pressure, Mara started dragging the front of Astari's dress up. Slowly, first over her chunky calves, up her bloated thighs and then past her tummy, rolling it up just under her breasts.
There, now it's not a problem anymore. Let me just do my own now.
Without much preamble, she bent down, gripped her dress, and started pulling the front side up, ever so slowly as to not rip it, until she could bundle it and push it under her sizable chest, snugly above her belly.
That was exhausting. I need to take a short breather before I get back to eating.
Munch, 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 gulpy. Well, less pastries for you. Munch, 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 gulpy. Thanks anyway.
And while Astari was again stuffing her face full of delicious sweets, Mara simply leaned back against the table, panting both from the exercise and from having her stomach compressed so tightly. Her belly was thus presented to the entire church, a slightly round bowl of fat that wobbled and shook with every breath she took. And while she was resting, her eyes wandered to her sister's form every so often, watching her as she crammed more and more pastries into her mouth, blushing as her belly grew larger and rounder, and averting her gaze in moments of embarrassment before glancing back anew. Before long, though, Mara's breathing evened out, and her desire to eat all these tasty sweets sat in again. With nary a thought, the platinum blonde nun turned around and grabbed the nearest pastry. There was already a sizable dent put into the pastry pool, but both gluttonous sisters still had many sweets to eat. With their back turned to the great hall of the church, it was quite difficult to make out much detail of what happened to their bellies as they filled them with as many delicacies as their chubby fingers could get hold of. But for those watching, a different kind of spectacle unfolded itself. With each movement Astari took, her well-fed backside would jiggle, visible even underneath her dress, the fabric stretched thin by her plump form, and she was certainly the one that was eating the most. As Mara, who was already behind in intake thanks to her short break, couldn't help but take a peek at Astari's belly every so often, gazing longingly at the ever-growing orb of flesh as the other nun gorged herself. As a result, she ate slower, taking less crepes for herself as time went on. Her expectant stare went unnoticed by her companion though, who was far too busy stuffing herself to pay attention to her surroundings. A short while later, after many more crepes were consumed by the growing blondes, it finally happened. Astari, who had at that point eaten twice the amount that Mara ate, slowed down before stopping entirely. There was only a half-dozen pastries left, but the bottom-heavy blonde was too stuffed to eat anymore. She turned around and leaned heavily on the table, making it creak under her weight, panting slowly. Her stuffed belly was now exposed to the world, round, taut, and filled to the brim with pastries. This was what Mara had been waiting for. Hasty with anticipation, the overfed nun waddled to her companion.
Oh dear, Astari, your belly looks suo stuffed. Come, let me give it a little rub to relieve some pressure.
Huz, Mara, are you a
Without giving her much chance to react, the buxom blonde nun started rubbing her companion's belly, slowly at first, massaging it and causing its owner to moan in between her attempts to breathe.
This feels so good, ha.
I'm glad you like it, I just had a great idea. Here, have another pastry.
Before Astari had much chance to process Mara's words, the enraptured nun grabbed the nearest crepe and shoved it into Astari's mouth, all the while not letting her other hand stray from its massage.
MFU, munch, 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 gulpy, ha, hoo, ha, what was that MHA? Munch, 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 gulpy, ha, ha, Mara, what mup, munch.
Come now, there are still some crepes left. You can't be full now, just keep eating and let me rub your cute tummy.
Without granting her any respite, Mara proceeded to stuff the remaining pastries into Astari's mouth, making her belly even larger and taunter, stuffed to the limit and beyond. Astari, the poor nun who was already quite stuffed before her companion decided to help her, was now barely cognizant, her overtaxed stomach stretched beyond measure and pressing into her organs. Mara, despite eating less than half of what Astari ate, was still sporting quite the stuffed belly herself. But she was far more awake and mobile, displayed openly by her fervent rubbing of Astari's huge belly.
Doesn't that feel good? Relieving all that pent-up pressure in that huge stuffed belly. Come now, let it out. Yees, just like that, let it all out. Relax and let me rub your cute tummy. Sit back and burp directly into my face.
Thus, Mara continued rubbing Astari's belly, completely ignoring everything else around her. I didn't think she'd be the one to do stuff like this. Neat.
Come on, burp again, please. It's so cute when you do this, is so nice. We have to do this every day.
She's kind of busy. I don't think she's aware of her audience.
Well, they really plumped up. I think, yeah, this is super fine. I'm gonna give them money so they don't stop.
Huh, I heard there were cute girls in here, but the only thing I see are two fat nuns.
The ladies up there are really fat. Are they all right? Let's give them some money, that helps, right? Papa always said money solves all problems.
Watching their bodies blossom grants me happiness. Goddess, thank you. Please accept my donations.
This idea does seem to be working, and the results are quite nice. May the goddess allow this, though quite a lot of money will be spent on procuring food.
That was nice. Anyway, I told you I'd break this old thing.
Well, she certainly destroyed her dress, all right. The part below the chest is completely in tatters, exposing her soft, supple figure to the world. And wow, what a figure that is. Attached to her wide hips are two huge butt cheeks, soft orbs of fat jiggling with every move she makes. Her legs are like tree trunks, their fat touching all the way down. In contrast, her top is really small. Though her belly certainly makes up for that, with the way it hangs down to her knees, covering her privates and obscuring most of her legs from view. It's always gurgling and growling for food to sate its hunger. The feast has left quite the mark on her overfed body, making it quite obvious who the heavier of the two nuns is. And from the way she keeps snacking on the treats close by, that trend will continue.
Munch munch hups, I got really big huh. Come now, do enjoy the view.
Ooh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. Please accept my apologies, and excuse me for my state of undress.
She's nearly completely showing herself, so her overfed body is displayed for all to see. Her heavy gut is a large, doughy ball of fat, soft to the touch and hanging low enough to completely hide her privates. Her bottom has grown considerably, being plump with fat and giving her a fuller figure. But her most eye-catching feature is, without a shred of doubt, her huge top laying heavily on her belly. These large melons, hiding most of her belly from view. With such a large body, her hunger had certainly grown, a fact demonstrated clearly by her near-constant snacking on donated goods. And she does seem to enjoy the attention her new assets are granting her. With the way she's blushing, but still pushing her melons together and sticking her belly out, it almost seems like she's an exhibitionist.
The view is nice, isn't it? Ooh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. Please accept my apologies, and excuse me for my state of undress. Again, I'm really sorry for last time. Please forgive me.
It's fine, it was kind of fun, and hey, we got more people to donate, so it was definitely worth it.
Still, ugh. Anyway, we should be wearing clothes that actually fit.
Don't worry about it, just continue to flaunt those massive things around.
Don't say it like that. Anyway, food. Yes, please bring us food.
An extra large serving of food coming right up. This time it's gonna be pizza. About 40 should be fine.
Ooh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me.
Did you
Please
bring the
accept
food?
my apologies, and excuse me for my state of undress.
This time it's pizza. About 40 should do.
That is a lot. Oh, let's start immediately then.
You said it.
The hungry nuns observed the food I brought out with eager anticipation, both barely waiting until the first plate had been set upon the table, then grabbing a slice with their chubby fingers, bringing it towards their mouths and shoving it in. From then on, it was a rush to cram as many slices of pizza they could fit inside their hungry tummies, eating more and more of the delicious food to satisfy their gluttonous desires.
Moo, this issue good boo orf.
Worft, yes, I hot hoot concur.
Though their manners seem to have taken a back seat in all of this, as their hunger and gluttony made both not care at all about their belches or sloppy behavior. Neither of the two overf sisters seemed to mind. Above all else, they did certainly provide quite the show to those watching. With the way their hefty bodies jiggled and shook with every movement they took, their mostly naked bodies free to view in all their glory. Seeing Mara's assets shake and bounce with every grab of another slice, her belly getting squeezed by the table as she bent over to reach, and hearing the sounds of her exertion and gluttonous desire, watching the hypnotic shaking of Astari's immense backside, wobbling with the slightest action, her belly growing larger as she stuffed more and more slices into her mouth, her reason giving way to gluttony. They were certainly entertaining their audience immensely. Watching these considerably fat sisters cram food into their mouths as if their lives depended on it, their bellies growing with each pizza they consumed. It was an enrapturing sight, to be sure. After about the midway point, a curious but perhaps not unexpected development made itself known. Mara was slowing down, still reaching for slice after slice, but not with the same fervor she had displayed at the start. Opposite to their last big feast, she didn't even spare a glance towards Astari's direction, seemingly far too embarrassed to even consider such a bold action again. Instead, she opted to keep herself busy with eating. Her stomach volume, though, wasn't as large as her sister's, who hadn't slowed down at all and kept mindlessly stuffing her face with pizza slices, which led to Mara stopping, despite there being quite the amount of pizzas left, simply because she was too full. She gasped for air, her heavy, filled gut bobbing up and down, making her top shake and bounce. Trying to ease the pressure on her poor tummy, she turned around, leaned against the table and started massaging her belly. Though now that she wasn't busy eating, her gaze wandered over to her fellow sister. For the visitors present in the church, this was quite the sight. Seeing the hefty platinum blonde buxom nun slowly rubbing her large belly, presenting it to the world at large in all its food-filled glory. Still, Mara held herself back. The struggle was quite visible on her face, but she seemed resolute.
Don't think about rubbing her belly or feeding her. No, 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 no.
So, she held herself back. The object of her conflict, Astari, seemed to pay her no mind, instead continuing to stuff herself silly with the remaining pizzas. And before long, all of them landed in her belly.
Phew, honey, was that all? Ooh, earth.
With heavy breaths, the thoroughly stuffed nun started to turn around as well, leaning her giant ass against the table to take some of her weight off her poor legs. Her immensely stuffed belly had grown so large that it touched the ground, a gigantic orb of fat filled to the brim with food, gurgling and causing her to burp every so often. To ease the pressure, she started rubbing it, which brought us to this quite interesting situation. Both nuns massaged their own tummies while stealing glances at each other, one with suppressed desire, the other with slight disappointment.
Hand must not rub her tummy. I must control myself. Boo-woo-orf.
I kind of wanted more, and maybe even belly rubs, they were nice. Earth, ha ha.
Yeah, they look really nice now. This is awesome. Take my money.
Why are they eating so much? I didn't know the goddess of light was into stuff like that.
They really are going to keep gaining weight, aren't they? It's kinda cute. Whatever, have some coins.
It was quite worth it to come here. I'll have to grant them one thing, they know for sure how to attract attention. Well, I suppose a few coins wouldn't hurt.
They got a lot fatter, but they also got so much money from everyone, and people seem to like how they look. Is being that fat good, I wonder?
Oh, goddess, you have granted me a treasure without equal. I shall use my life savings to repay you.
Wow, these ladies are really big. Are they supposed to be like that?
We have already procured a fair amount of donations, and some people even donated food to keep these two well fed. For how long are we going to keep doing this?
I really shouldn't. Ooh, but I want to. Ooh, munch, 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 boo up.
Now
munch,
that
munch.
the church's money has increased, the amount of food available has also gone up, leading to her snacking on different treats every so often. This, combined with her last feast, had quite an effect on her figure, though less so than for Astari. And that increase in body fat can best be seen when looking at her top, as if you could look anywhere else with how massive they are, hiding nearly all of her belly. From view, these huge jugs are certainly her most impressive asset, a fact she seems proud of as she flaunts them at every opportunity, despite her general misgivings about lewd behavior. Though, as she seems to enjoy both the attention and the indecent acts in general, that might change.
Please stare all you want. Squeeze, squish, squish.
Munch munch munchy munchy munch earthy hi munch 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 munchy munch munch earth.
The church has received quite a few donations lately, both money and food, and it seems this not-so-little sister has made use of that fact. Looking at her significantly overfed figure, it's amazing she can stand. Her massive ass is already large enough to nearly touch the ground when she's upright. A large, wobbling mass of fat that shakes like jelly every time she grabs for food and stuffs it into her greedy mouth. With the way her butt has grown so large, it's really hard to tell where her thighs are or how much fat they accumulated. Though, based on her general body shape, it's probably quite a lot, unlike her top. Certainly worth mentioning is her belly, however, as that giant mass of flesh has made contact with the ground as well, contributing to the vanishing of her legs. It's almost never empty now as she stuffs her face nearly all hours of the day. This makes her weight noticeably higher than her fellow sisters, and at the rate she's going, it'll stay that way as well. She seems to have fallen in love with being stuffed.
Munch 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 oof hog 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 more foodie munch 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 need more.
I really shouldn't. Ooh, but I want to. Ooh, munch, 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 boo up, munch, munch. I wonder what we should do now. We have gotten quite a bit of money already. Should we stop?
Nope, absolutely not. Never. Seriously though, do you really want to stop?
No, not really. But is it really right to continue? Won't the goddess want us to only take what we need and nothing more?
That's the thing, our goddess commands us to protect everyone against the dark, as well as to offer help and sanctuary to all that require it. Says nothing about eating. Lots of food, taking donations to let us do our thing, or to eat till we can't fit anything in anymore.
Oh, well, that is good. Why do most of our teachings include things like moderation and modesty then?
Because these old farts are boring, obviously.
It's because some churches started only offering service for money, which goes against the spirit of our goddess order. Nowadays it's called donations though. Far more important, however, is that this is a holy place. So if our goddess has an issue with what we're doing here, she would directly interfere as she has in the past. Cough, cough.
Yeah, so in short, we're fine.
Well, that is good. Then may we ask you to bring us food again one last time?
Maybe the amount last time wasn't enough. Well, let's just get them 60 steaks this time.
I really shouldn't. Ooh, but I want to. Ooh, munch, munch, munch. Boo. Did you bring munch, food? Munch?
Let's get them 60 steaks this time.
That is a ton.
Great, more food for us.
But can we really eat all this?
We won't know until we try.
Yes, let's eat then. I must hold back. Belly rubs.
Thus the two heavily overfed nuns reached for the steaks, cramming as much into their maws as possible, intent on devouring the hearty feast and expanding their already quite substantial bodies even more. Steak after steak was consumed, vanishing quickly into their hungry bellies. Seeing them like this, bellies resting on the reinforced table, well-fed bodies leaning forward, plump fingers reaching for the meat. Their bodies jiggled with each motion, sending ripples through their assets as they taxed their muscles to grab the food laid out in front of them to satisfy their ravenous stomachs. For their sizable audience, this was the highlight of their day, watching two greatly overfed sisters stuff themselves with food, expanding their bellies as they crammed more and more meat into their gluttonous maws. And as their feast went on, a familiar trend made itself known. The top-heavy Mara, who was somewhat smaller than Astari, was reaching her limit, her stomach capacity a fair bit smaller than her sisters. Still she pushed on, sweat pouring down her well-padded form as she stuffed another piece of meat into her mouth, her massive mammaries shaking atop her round, stuffed belly until she was simply too stuffed to eat. At that point, she could do nothing more than turn around, prop her huge ass up on the table, and take deep breaths while slowly rubbing her overtaxed tummy, trying to ease the pressure. Though now that she was no longer busy with eating, her gaze inevitably wandered over to Astari, who was still going strong, and her big, round belly, desire fighting with embarrassment in her eyes. It seemed as if she was trying to hold back, not wanting to engage in such forward acts. And while Mara was busy battling between the tantalizing view of her entire view on Astari's massive belly and an intense inner struggle, Astari herself was casting surreptitious glances every so often. After a while, Astari started to lose her speed before stopping altogether, unable to take another bite. And yet there were still quite a few steak remaining, but she was quite full, so she sat down on the floor.
Fools hot hams haps, I'm really stuffed right now. Ooh, I don't think how I can eat another bite.
But hi, there's so much left.
Well, yes, well, I guess there's way, hat ham.
What do you mean?
You'll say it's have to rub my belly and feed me, dummy.
Why, I can't, there's no way, no. I don't think.
Well, tell me, do you want to,
I mean, yes.
Then where's the problem? Just do it.
Well, last time, I overdid it, right? What if I hurt you?
Don't worry, you'll do fine. I really enjoyed it last time too.
Really? Why, you'd be alright with me.
Yup, go on, give this belly a good massage and stuff it full, of all this delicious meat.
Well, if you're fine with it, don't mind if I do.
With speed unbecoming of such a heavy woman, the nun waddled over to where her fellow sister was sitting on the floor and started massaging her belly, taking care not to apply too much pressure.
Ooh, don't stop. Ooh, that was grumpy munch.
Shush, don't talk. Just sit back and let me feed you. I'll rub your belly so you have room for more, and for your cute belches.
Oh dear, this is what I wanted, so why do I feel like I might have miscalculated?
Without giving her much chance to do anything but pant for air and burp a few times, Mara stuffed steak after steak into Astari's mouth. And although she felt more and more stuffed, her gluttony still had her eat them. And Mara would not stop. No, far from it. Her eyes were alight with desire, and she just kept feeding Astari steak, disregarding her sister's state, which was being stuffed beyond her limits.
You're so cute when you burp like that. Here, open your mouth, we've got quite a few steaks left.
Ooh, hot, munch, ooh, hot, ooh.
Poor Astari, her belly being stuffed by Mara has left her barely conscious. She simply eats everything crammed into her mouth, before belching to relieve her incredibly overstuffed stomach of some pressure. Having sat down earlier, she now is incapable of rising, her heavy gut and immense ass grounding her. Sauce is running down her belly from her mouth, mixing with her sweat on the enormous orb that is her belly. Mara, meanwhile, was both feeding her steak after steak and massaging her poor belly. Her only focus was on making her fellow sister consume all the food, ignoring everything else. She hadn't noticed how stuffed Astari was, nor did she notice the mess she was making. Neither did she notice the way her own utterly full belly collided with Astari, squishing it and providing quite the view to all in the church watching both nuns. But most of all, she didn't notice how she herself was occasionally reaching for a snack from the table, her own gluttony and desire to feed her fellow sister completely overriding any and all restraint.
Munch, boo up. Here, have another. Don't they all taste great? Come eat. And then please burp in my face. I love it when you do.
Burp.
Looks like they're having a good time.
You know, I heard they had a lot of gold stashed here, so I went to see for myself. And look what I found. True beauty. I have to steal some food for them.
They got even bigger. This place is the best. I'm gonna come here all the time now. Whoa, the people here are really weird. Do they just get fat if you throw money at them? I wanna try that out.
This is really incredible. I'm gonna get myself a girl just like that, or better yet, 2 girls.
Munch, burp, munch, has got a long way to go. Well, in the meantime, might as well donate some.
Goddess, These tears are tears of pure joy. May your blessings resound within all of us.
Oh my, these youngsters sure know how to have a good time. I'll have to bake them a few cakes so they won't go hungry.
Munch, 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 munch. Oorup, oh yeah, progress. I'm gonna be as huge as them one day. I even bought extra food for them to eat too. Wow, I won't be like that when I grow up.
Hess, that really paid off. They got so huge now, especially the blonde one. Foo, both are kind of blonde. Whatever, I'll drop off another cake or two.
So many people are watching them eat all day long and get fat. I wonder, could I do that too?
You know, for a church, this is quality entertainment. I might have to leave a few donations behind. Right, of course. This is my life now, huh?
Moo moo moo, what's the problem, Doc?
The problem is the fact that I now have to clean, manage, lead, and conduct rituals all on my own. Which, might I tell you, is frankly a huge pain in this huge church. And worst of all, I don't even have enough time to find any helpers. These two need managing all day. We have dozens of people coming to her all the time now. Arg. You know what, fine. I'll think of a way to solve this.
Come now, don't you love this? Being fed all the time, doing nothing but eating. Munch, munch. Open your muawooth.
Ooh, ooh, ha, munch, 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 oorup, ha, munch.
Well, that certainly escalated quickly. Not that I have any problems with this situation at all. Where to start? It seems Mara has been feeding Astari nearly non-stop since their last big stuffing session, and the results are plainly visible on both of their hugely overfed bodies, more so in Astari's case. Astari has certainly blown up a lot from last time. Now truly immobile, she has a belly larger than the average person billowing out in front of her, and two gigantic ass cheeks that eclipse the table in height. It's no wonder she has turned into such a giant pile of fat, though, with the way Mara keeps stuffing food into her mouth nearly without pause, expanding her poor, heavily overstuffed belly even further. Thanks to the incredible amount of food in her belly, she's nearly catatonic, as well as belching constantly. Though based on both the expression on her face and her reaction in her moments of lucidity, she's enjoying it. The perpetrator behind this, the herself massively fat Mara, seems to not mind this at all. Instead, she revels in it, feeding Astari constantly and trying to make her reach new heights of gluttony. At the same time, she seems to take perverse enjoyment out of anything Astari does, be it belch into her face or grow even more blubber. Besides feeding the ball of fat, she also rubs Astari's belly from time to time, though its effectiveness is questionable thanks to her own immensely fat gut being pressed into Astari's all the time now. It should come to no surprise that Mara herself has been snacking and eating all the food around her as well, keeping herself stuffed throughout the day in an effort to satiate her own gluttonous desires. The result of that is that her own figure has expanded considerably as well. Her huge backside is insignificant in comparison to her massive belly and gigantic chest, both so heavy that she has simply opted to rest them on Astari's massively overfed form. She doesn't move much at all now. The only exercise her body gets is in the form of her bingo wings trying to cram food into Astari's mouth and sometimes her own. And since she doesn't seem to be willing to stop anytime soon, immobility awaits.
Munch, munch, munch. Boo-urf, ah. This is all so tasty, come, have a taste yourself.
Munch, 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 ooorf, ha, yes.